Hello everybody, I'm Oliver Hines, aka Diamond Elves from MetalUnderground.com, and I'm really happy to say we're here with Imperial Age, who I've just seen, I'd never heard of before, but they're fucking brilliant. So you have to know about them now. Could you please introduce yourselves, please?
Yes, I'm Alexander, or AR, from Imperial Age. I play the keyboards and do some backing vocals.
My name is Jane. I do the same work in this band.
It's very simple.
So, as you mentioned, you've been on the whole tour with Orphanland.
Yeah.
How's that been going?
Well, the beginning was very interesting.
Oh yeah, we missed the two first shows because of our UK visas. We waited for it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or more.
More actually. Yeah. So we had. We have all the visas, everything is fine, but because it took so long for the Home Office to do them, we actually missed the first two shows in Bochum and in Uden, and the guys thought that we were not coming, but in the end it was fine, we got the visas and we came in.
Wonderful. So how long has the band been going?
Since 2012.
Okay, good, so 6 years, so...
4 years.
Oh, 2012, sorry.
Yeah.
4 years. Okay, but I have seen that you have a new album out this year.
Yeah.
What's
Warrior
the album
Race.
called? Warrior Race.
Yeah.
How's the response to that been?
Oh, very good. I've actually seen a lot of very good reviews online.
Good.
It's thanks to Christopher Jans and his label Adelrude Records, who released the whole thing and promoted to the whole thing. So thanks to him, you can buy it anywhere in Europe, which is cool.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys are of the kind of symphonic metal area. Have you had classical training of your voices?
Well, yes, actually.
Yeah.
We're just on our way to the classical education.
Oh, okay.
I think only our lead singer has the complete education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a completely trained classical singer. We just have some classical training,
Yeah.
but not fully.
We just played in classical musicians.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
convincing enough to impress everybody. No problem. So what is the metal scene like back in Russia?
I think you can answer that question.
Oh no.
You can summarize my thoughts, because if I answer that question, that's going to be 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm not sure that metal scene in Russia exists.
That's a good point. Well, it depends upon what size of bands we're talking about. So I warned you that it's going to be 2 hours. So if we talk about big bands, then of course the scene exists. But when we talk about smaller bands, especially local bands, then there is this attitude that everything local is shit. And that's the problem which Russia has with not only the metal scene, but with everything, which comes down to cars, to crockery, everyday things and shit like that. So I can say that there is a huge amount of small, undervalued bands who are actually very good as musicians, but unfortunately only a few of them actually break the international barrier.
Yeah. I was thinking, off the top of my head, I can only name 2 other Russian bands, which is Aria, I'm not sure.
Area, yes.
Yeah. And I think they're brilliant, but for a band as established as they are, not a lot of people outside of Russia know them.
Yeah.
And it's quite a shame. And the other one I know is a black metal band called Necrosadistic Go Torture.
Oh.
And that's only because...
That's something specific.
Yeah. It's only because one of the members, the guitarist or something, I was at a Venom show 10 years ago and he was selling a CD.
Oh, I see.
He's like, buy this, it's good metal. Okay.
Good sell.
Yeah. So throughout the tour, have you noticed some countries reacting much better to you than other places, or have you began to develop a strong fan base outside of Russia in certain areas?
Well, I would say that the strongest fan base is in the UK.
Okay.
That's number one.
Yeah.
I'm honest here. Especially judging by the tour in January,
Yeah.
which had more people. The second is Switzerland. The third would be Germany. And then Netherlands, Czech Republic, Poland, all these countries, Italy also. But the first is definitely the UK because we had the best sellings. I judge by merch.
Okay.
So last tour and this tour we had the best sellings in the UK, in Switzerland, and then Germany.
Lovely.
So that's what it seems like.
Lovely. So I saw that you're booked to play. I need to learn English too. You're booked to play Grass Pop Festival next year.
No,
No?
no. We for some reason we are on their website,
Oh.
but nobody contacted me about playing.
I won't book.
I would love to play Grass Pop, but nobody asked us to.
Oh.
We would definitely agree.
Yeah.
No, for some reason when you enter Imperial in Google,
Yeah.
you can see us on the Grass Pop Metal meeting, and that has been happening for the past 2 years now.
Oh.
I have no idea why.
But we are agree in advance.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So when you started out, obviously it's such a blend of classical and operatic themes, as well as very strong metal influences. How did you go about forming such a combination?
Well, I think that from the very beginning that was the only type of music I'm capable of creating. So I didn't think like, okay, I need to create a metal band. What style are we going to play? Is it going to be death metal or black metal or symphonic metal? No, it's just the only kind of music I can produce.
Yeah.
There's a good saying for any types of creative people: if you can avoid writing, don't write.
Wonderful. But do you have any plans or festivals booked, should I say, officially booked?
Not yet. We have surprisingly many shows this year, 44 in general in Europe in 2016, but not a single festival yet. We're waiting for offers.
Okay. Hope you get some soon. Is there any plans to head to North America at some point?
Hopefully. At the moment, Epica, one of the most prominent symphonic metal bands, and Arcana,
Yeah.
the most prominent Russian metal band, are actually touring in the US. So I think that they're paving the way for us.
Yeah.
So, and especially with the results of the election, which of course are very ambiguous, but one thing is for certain, that I hope that Russian-American relations will improve.
Yeah.
And if that happens, we would be glad to tour in the US as well.
Yeah, I would hope so. So, overall, what's the main theme of the band when it comes to lyrics or presentation? Obviously, you have the very striking outfits.
Thank you.
Yeah, what kind of themes are you presenting in terms of the music?
What do you think?
I can't talk about your inspirations because you're the founder of all our
You're the
visuals.
Well, the visual you see was quite spontaneous, but the main idea is that before our civilization came into existence, are some myths, some legends say that there was another civilization which preceded our civilization, which was much more technically developed.
Okay.
It's usually called Atlantis, but that's just a name.
Yeah.
So, because there are like evidence that, for example, the newest research shows that it was physically possible to build the Great Pyramid of Egypt, for example, with the tools that they have, like copper tools.
Yeah.
It's physically possible, and stuff like that. And the Stonehenge as well, for example. I mean, if you have just sticks and ropes, how would you build that? They have one stone the size of this camper. So there was something before that.
Mm.
And according to occult legends, this was a globalized civilization, so they didn't have these petty, like the American president and then the Russian president. I'm the master. No, I'm the master. No, fuck off. I'm the master. They didn't have this shit. It was a global civilization which was aimed at developing humanity as a whole, and that's what actually we're talking about.
Okay.
So when we refer to the Imperial Age, we mean not like the Russian Empire or the British Empire or whatever. We mean a global civilization that would act in the interests of humanity as a whole, and not a certain group of people who are holding the power. That's how it is.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me. It's been a real pleasure to meet you and to see you perform. I hope to see you again.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
cheers.